Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. On the broadcast tonight, we go back in time. It's Throwback Night from Atlanta Motor Speedway, the 2008 version we've took that time machine and we dropped it back quite a few years. Unfortunately, I'm not in 8th grade. I'm still my 31-year-old self, and joining me up in the broadcast booth, it is Kenan Miller.
Hey AJ, how's it going tonight? Glad to be here to call this race. Been enjoying looking at all the different schemes through practice and qualifying. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting race with all the bumps this track has.
Yeah, right. I love when we come back to a track that has a lot of character to it. With it being the '08 version, we're talking about a crud ton of tire wear. And could we see some fuel strategy or even tire strategy when we head towards that stage right around lap 47? And just to break everything down for our wonderful people watching at home, this is the 2008 Atlanta. We're doing 140 laps, 210 miles. That stage is at lap 47. They have 5 sets of tires in the pits. And for a fuel run, you can go anywhere from 32 to 40 laps. And with everything being throwback weekend, Kenan, we have a lot of throwbacks to go through tonight, which we will do at some point throughout the broadcast. We'll try to catch everybody. But with qualifying just about over and done with, it looks like that 6 of Kyle Miller is going to be our pole sitter. I know you're the racer. How did you like running the old Atlanta versus the new Atlanta?
Oh, well, obviously the biggest difference is it's not going to be a big pack race like the new repaved Atlanta is. You're going to have to find the right line, be able to run over the bumps, and I think the biggest thing is tire wear. You mentioned 32 to 40 laps on the fuel run. If we get a green flag race, I imagine most people will be pitting more towards that lap 32. I think that 8-lap difference, if you do stay out, you're going to lose so much time. You're going to have to short pit, which I think 5 sets of tires in the pits.
Yep.
You know, every crew chief on the box, they're begging for more tires. That's not going to be quite enough if we do have to run it that way. So I think it's got a lot of different character, a lot of different bumps, and the strategy is just going to be a huge part in how you get around the track.
Cars are starting to make towards the track. Drivers are heading towards their vehicles. Let's run down the starting lineup for the Throwback Atlanta Xfinity race, brought to you by the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series. Kyle Miller, Alan Fox, your front row. Then Gary Wells, Bryce Senzak in that second row. In row 3, Daniel Krim, Michael Thwaites. Row 4, Paul Irvin and Adam Capps. Rounding out that top 10 in row 5, it's Joe Torres and Kyle Zimmer. In row number 6, brings you to Joshua Gillen and Mike Robinson. Then in row 7, Doug Tuttle, Taylor Bertram, Connor Coleman, and Joshua Vidal in row 8. And then Dennis Ansman and Derek Catt rounding out the field in row number 9. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let's bring our pole sitter up to the booth. That's going to be the number 6 of Kyle Miller. Kyle Miller, AJ, and Kenan in the broadcast booth. Do you got a copy, my friend?
Yeah, I got y'all.
Congratulations on the pole for Throwback Night. How does it feel? How does the car feel? And what are we going to expect out of that number 6, throwing it all the way back to Charlie Lazenbeck from 19... Lazenbach, okay. 1969, so you really threw a Hail Mary down in the Wayback Machine.
You know, I went on Google and I typed in old NASCAR 6 cars, and honestly, I seen the numbers on the hood and thought of cars for some reason.
Yeah.
And I sent it to Gary, and he's like, "Yeah, we could do that." And then we found out that he's from Indiana.
There you go.
So,
there you go. Nice. I like that, dude. Well, good luck with the race. It looks like you're about to start rolling any second now. Maybe we'll talk to you right around that lap 47 stage.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Let's catch you later, pal.
All right, later, guys.
All right, well, let's run through some of our throwbacks this evening. Starting with the 09 of Bryce Senzak. He's taking the Scott Pruitt throwback. Then the number 5 of Taylor Bertram. He's back in 14th position. Let's see if we can get a quick view of that. There it is. Oh, that is so nice. The 6 of Kyle Miller we saw. The 22 of Mike Robinson is a throwback to Ward Burton. I think this one is a better view from the side. There it is. Then the 23 of Connor Coleman is the Dr. Pepper BK throwback. Got W on the hood of that. The 25 of Kyle Zimmer is the Kevin Harvick 2006. Now, if we miss any right now, we will definitely show it at some point during the race. Kenan, we're about to go all loud 17 engines down into turn 1. Joshua Vidal is doing a Too Fast, Too Furious paint scheme.
Yeah, there's a lot of different throwbacks. It'll make for an interesting race for us up here in the booth trying to keep up with who's who, changing it up the week to week like that with the schemes. But they sure do good, look good. I think the fans love them. They look great on a die cast. Well, let's buckle up. We're about to have a really nice 140 laps of racing here.
And green flag in the air, and we are a go throwback for the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how everybody settles in. Let's just see how everybody settles in. You're going to see a lot of people go from the back to the front with the tire wear early on. Who's saving, who's not.
Yeah, and with everything going on, last night we saw a lot of trucks in the Truck Series be very loose through 2 on exit. So I'm looking to see if these Xfinity cars have the same issue. Immediately we saw that 73 in turn 1 and 2 go right up towards the wall, kind of running that Larson line, but immediately ducking right back down behind the 6 of Miller as Gary Wells is now battling with the 09 of Senzak.
Yeah, everybody's getting singled out quick. I don't know, I wasn't able to be here for the truck race, but whether we'll see that high line start to work in as the race goes on, I would suspect you're going to see everybody fighting to try and get to the bottom, wherever the police bumps are.
Absolutely, and let's bring up some of that weather we have from the racetrack. It looks like a track temp is sitting right around 80 degrees. It is beautiful for the wonderful people in the stands. We got the windows open. No need for some AC. For us, it's 70 degrees as the track temp dips down to 79. So these Xfinity vehicles should have a decent amount of grip tonight.
Yeah, track will get a little slicker as the run goes on. It's getting weathered. You do see the shade kind of coming over 3 and 4 there. That's going to give them a little more comfort, but once you see them start getting to that lap 25 to 30 mark, they'll have their hands full begging to come down for more tires.
So you see the 27 of Gary Wells at the bottom of your screen right there. He's throwing it back to his season 18 paint. The 29 of Joe Torres is throwing it all the way back to Kevin Harvick's first Cup win. Daniel Krim, who's currently in that 7th position, is also throwing it back to a Fast and Furious scheme. 48 of Paul Irvin. What do you know? It's right behind him. It's an old Jimmy Johnson scheme. Actually, it looks pretty dope.
I do like the colors on that.
So do I. It's weird not seeing Lowe's on it, though. And then
yeah, definitely.
Our final one of the evening, the driver of the number 73, sitting in 2nd right now, Alan Fox, is throwing it back to his first Xfinity paint scheme right here at XMS.
I think as we've seen him get through first 5 laps here, the biggest person that sticks out on the leaderboard right now are 2 names. Adam Capps, all the way up 5 positions in 3rd place. You got Joshua Vidal, terrible qualifying effort. He's already up into the top 10. I'm sure you'll see him continue climbing too, but if I were Kyle Miller right now, I'd be waiting on Adam Capps to come see him.
Yeah, same thing with Adam Capps, Josh Vidal, Michael Thwaites is in plus territory. But our biggest herder of the race is Joshua Gillen. He went from 11th to 18th, and he's already, I think, almost 9 seconds back of the lead.
Yeah, it's a pretty good gap from first to last right now already. That's almost reaching half a lap, just 6 laps in. So working lap traffic will be a key for the leader as well.
So now that we have a little bit of a lull as everybody's got their bearings, we have 8 laps in. Let's talk about points coming into tonight. And there are the points after Mid-Ohio last week. Bryce Senzak takes the lead by a point over Alan Fox. Joe Torres sitting with 178. Michael Thwaites with 173. Paul Irvin rounding out the top 5 with 165. It is still anybody's game. It is 100% you win and you're in. There's just a couple parameters that you have to make a certain amount of races. So we are heading towards the playoffs. We're getting there. You will start to see in the next couple weeks some drivers being highlighted when they finally officially clinch for the playoffs, meaning they make all their races that they need to and have that win. But let's take a look at the team points. Primetime Motorsports with 409, Spartan Esports with 335, Warrior Enterprise with a 331, Royalty Motorsports with a 211, ACR with a 109. They share that with SimSpark Racing, and Gillen Motorsports with 33. Who are you all rooting for, everybody? We want to hear from you. Chat rooms are open. Also, if you want to vote on your favorite throwback scheme, has to be a throwback scheme. We have a link pinned in our Facebook and our YouTube chats, along in the descriptions, to vote for your favorite.
I think that last lap, Adam Capps actually brushed the wall there, getting out of 2. He's got Bryce Senzak right on his tail, looking to make a move down the backstretch here. He made a really good hard charge, but I think those tires just wore off way too fast, and you're starting to see it already take effect.
And we just had a pass for the lead entering turn 3. Alan Fox gets by the 6 of Kyle Miller. New leader, the 73. Currently have 19 people watching. Glad to have you all with us. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow, and also hit that bell so you don't miss any other broadcast, as Senzak has taken 3rd and he's starting to run away.
Yeah, Alan, he looks like he's maybe trying to test that outside line and wanting to keep that run up. I don't know how that's going to play out for his tire wear and so forth, but it's definitely going to help keep his momentum up throughout the run. We'll see what he does now that he's by himself.
Absolutely.
Still stays to that high side.
And if we stay green, I would not be surprised if we see at halfway through the stage, so right around that 24, 25-ish lap mark, if we have drivers come to pit road, because you are going to have to pit in the first stage. The object of is, when are you going to pit? And I think if you're a little bit further in the back, right around that 10th or so position, you're thinking about coming halfway and try to cut underneath some of the drivers in front of you.
Yeah, I think it's a great strategy. I do think you'll probably see the leaders even take on to that strategy that any lap they're out there. Oh, the 6 car, Kyle Miller's already brushing the wall again out of 2.
Yeah, it's going to open the door for the 09.
Yeah, that was a really good lick. That's going to only make the car a lot harder to handle the rest of the race. Doesn't look like he's showing too much damage, but he definitely got into that wall pretty good.
Yeah, yes he did. And he's already putting the pressure back on the 09.
Yeah, I don't think he's happy he made that mistake and lost a position for it.
I know a couple drivers that are like that. Michael Thwaites plus 2 positions in the 12 auto parts, advanced auto parts Chevy Camaro, and then right behind him you have the 2 Elite Entertainment Adam Capps Toyota Supra. Which if we don't get to it, we're definitely going to have one with the stage. All our cautions here on the channel are brought to you by Elite Entertainment.
Yeah, the way they're spread out, it's hard to see one coming, but once the tires get slick, I think you'll start seeing more and more mistakes.
Oh boy, we dropped it all the way back to that 10th position with Mike Robinson. You have the three of Dennis Ansman, Joe Torres, Taylor Bertram, and Kyle Zimmer all under a blanket as Ansman's cutting underneath the 22. I really like Mike Robinson's scheme right there. It's a very nice throwback to, I think it's Jeff Burton.
Oh, that's a Ward Burton scheme.
That's a Ward Burton scheme.
That's a Ward Burton, I think, an ode to the old Caterpillar schemes Ward used to run back in the day.
See, I thought Jeff was
looking
Caterpillar.
No, Jeff was running the old Exide machines back in the old days.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't get into NASCAR till I was already in high school, so...
Hey, that's all right. We'll help you along. Those Caterpillar schemes, they were really iconic for its time period, and even got a Daytona 500 victory.
As Senzak has given up the position to the 6 again. But with that, that brings the 12 right back into the hunt for this P2 spot. We're actually going to jump on board with the 12 of Michael Thwaites as he sees both the 09 and the 6 battling for that position. Very bumpy on the racetrack.
Yeah, you can almost feel your head rattling just watching it from the camera.
Yeah, if I didn't have a concussion before, you might now.
Yeah. I think one thing you see how he's taking that middle line through there. He's finding a line where there's a little bit of air he can keep on that front bumper. Maybe help the rear from sliding out on him. You see it's looking like that top line in 1 and 2 is starting to look dominant. I wouldn't be surprised if everybody starts working up there once they start figuring that out.
Absolutely. And you can see Adam Capps bouncing as well in the rearview mirror. And what I really like what Michael Thwaites is doing is, like you said, he's getting the air to it, but he's also taking a completely different line. It's like he's setting the turn 2 up so he could just get a straight line out of the turn.
Yeah, they can get the straight line and they can carry all that momentum staying around the outside.
Yeah, because last time...
Keeps that speed up in the middle of the corner and it just pays off down the backstretch.
Last time out of 2, he actually cracked the throttle just so he could stay right behind the 09, because for all we know, there could be a lot more other strategies out there. Are they going to attempt to save the 7 laps? I doubt it, but I wouldn't be surprised if people are going to attempt to save as much as possible and still try to stay up towards the front. So all they have to do is take a splash and get back on the racetrack for a couple laps.
Yeah, anytime you come down pit road, you're going to need tires.
Honestly, that's where I'm going
now,
too,
you
but
could start pitting.
In the car, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody says, you want to know something? I'm going to try it. And if it doesn't work, we're going to have a caution on a couple laps anyway.
Yeah, you aren't wrong in maybe just taking some fuel and get to the end and maybe...
Ooh!
You know everybody's going to take tires on 47. That was quite a move there by the 12 car.
He's cutting underneath it. But we actually saw Paul Irvin brush the wall out of 2. Looking for another battle on the racetrack. Has to go all the way back to that 12th position. Robinson is all under fire from Kyle Zimmer in the Coast Guard Chevy Camaro.
Yeah, you see the guys in the back sticking to the bottom. They're falling back pretty quickly, too.
Yeah, a little bit of a...
Mike Robinson in the wall. Woo. He gathered it back together, but it's been a reoccurring theme in the first 23 laps of this race. Cars are hitting the wall out of 2.
Yeah, we saw a truck last night. It didn't look like a hard hit, but ended up with a meatball coming down pit road and was on there for about 6 to 8 minutes. It just looked like a nice flat hit, and it caused a lot of damage, and most of it is where you can't see it.
Yeah, you knock that suspension in a little bit,
yeah.
You'll be done.
But Dennis Ansman in the 3 trying to work the high side, and we have Josh Vidal hitting pit road first.
Yeah, he's hitting it right at the midway part, which is kind of what we predicted. And he was our hard charger at one point, and you know he was using some tires up early to get there. So
does this bring the rest of the field down pit road now. Because the leaders have to know how fast that 26 was.
Yeah, they're definitely going to want to see how quick he's catching them once he gets out. And there you go. You're already seeing a couple more dive in. The leaders may stay out a couple extra laps. That way they'll have something a little fresher when they get back on track. But every lap you're staying out, you're probably giving away a good second a lap right now.
Yeah, we talked about tire wear before the race this evening. Alan Fox, his best lap of 31.03. Last time by, it's a 32.76. So a second and a half plus. As here comes the 73, giving the lead back to Senzak. And Michael Thwaites hitting pit road as well.
Yeah, I think give it a couple more laps. You'll see Bryce get in there. He was able to lead the lap, get the bonus point. He'll more than likely be coming down here this time, I would imagine.
Mike, wish you were here, pal. Thank you for liking the stream. Very sorry to hear about the passing of your grandfather. So just know that the All-Star 15 TV family, along with my family, sends our deepest condolences to you and your family. As here comes Senzak. Gary Wells is going to take the lead for a lap.
I would imagine you'll see a few other drivers do the same strategy. Stay out one more lap if they're in second, get that lap led, and bring it right on down, get 4 fresh tires, fuel.
Yeah, get that bonus point while you can. And here comes 27. Paul Irvin now going to take the race lead.
Good to see Paul up front there. It looks nice in that Jimmy Johnson throwback scheme.
Yeah. I think a lot of, for the most part, Paul's schemes are really nice, even though they're all Ally or Jimmy Johnson old throwbacks. They're all pretty cool designed.
Yes, they are. I've really enjoyed getting to watch them. They are a nice looking design.
And there's the 48 hitting pit road, and Joe Torres is going to lead a lap from Kevin Harvick's first win in 2001. Can't believe that's already been 23 years ago.
And on the same original bumpy track from 2008. Not too many years past that win.
And it looks like he's showing that he's coming to pit road by keeping it to the inside here. He's already slowing up. Kyle Miller, Alan Fox go right by him. And let's see, does Daniel Krim stay out and take the lead? Yes, he does. We are bunny hopping all the way through the field with 17 laps remaining in the stage. Race leader, the 47, of Daniel Krim. Joe Torres and Kyle Zimmer both on pit road. And here comes the 47. It's feeding time.
Looks like we only got 2 cars left out there that haven't brought it into pit road yet. I'd be surprised to see him stay out the full 40 laps. You've got to expect him any minute now.
Oh, 100%. But Derek Catt and Joshua Gillen staying on the racetrack.
And you see Derek Catt, he started in the rear of the field. He was able to get up to the front. It's a good opportunity to get a lap led, even if maybe the car isn't what you want it to be on a race like tonight. So get that 1 bonus point, build some momentum. Like you said earlier, we know we've got that 1 caution coming at 47. You'll be able to regroup and kind of reset yourself from there.
100%, as he's throwing the Royalty Motorsports colors, leading a couple laps here as Joshua Gillen is closing in, and then you have Alan Fox in the 73, who's about 21 seconds back and closing rapidly by almost 2 seconds a lap.
Yeah, it's only going to get quicker and quicker. You can see it on the interval on our timing and scoring up here in the booth. That number is just getting closer and closer and closer. So You can see it's definitely not the strategy to go if you want to win the race, but I think early on is a good strategy. You get a point, and you're going to be able to reset with the stage and be able to adjust your strategy for the back 93 laps.
And he's out of the throttle for quite a bit of time. There's no way he possibly saved 7 laps, right?
No, I can't imagine there's any way he's making it on fuel. I think some drivers that start these races, they want to be able to just run it out, see what they've got, learn what the tires are going to do over 40 laps, because with a 97 lap run coming at the end, if it does stay green in the couple caution laps before we start the stage, you might be able to squeeze it on one stop. Now, I don't know if it's really going to work out if the faster tires get back to you, but it could possibly be a one-stop race in the second stage.
Yeah, we're looking at 11 laps before the stage ends. Only one retiree, and that's the 22 of Mike Robinson. We saw the damage that he got when he smacked the turn 2 wall, so I wonder if that ended up being fatal for him.
I think something else must have happened to the car there. I don't know if he maybe got in touch with it again, but his car was looking pretty good the first few laps after he scraped that wall. So we'll have to get a pit lane reporter down there and see what's going on there with the 22.
Yeah, currently trying to see about what happened. I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, it could have been the damage from that turn 2 hit. Maybe it.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
Oh, he missed the entrance to pit road.
And why is he backing up? Oh.
Looks like he had trouble getting it going in gear there, but he gets it going.
That's the only thing I got.
Oh, and we have a yellow out on the track.
For Taylor Bertram in the 5. Oh, and him and Dennis Ansman.
Yeah, it looked like that was a race for 12th position there.
Yeah, the 5 just keeps coming up the racetrack, and the 3's already there.
Yeah, you could see getting out of there. The 5 was already having to chase the car up the track, and I think that 3 car being right on the right rear, just enough air was able to get off of it that he was saving it, but his car was a little loose. But that's heavy sustained damage.
You know what 2 drivers are geniuses right now? Derek Catt and Joshua Gillen.
He played out beautifully for them. They then come down and get 4 fresh ones. They just flip the board. They're now at the front. Looks like the leaders, Alan Fox and all, they pitted on lap 26, so you're going to see them come down and take tires. You can't leave other cars out there with fresher tires and think you'll be competitive with 13-lap older tires. So that's a great chance for them to reset. Now we'll have to see how the clean air works for them and having the faster traffic all equalized behind them if they can stay up there. But depending on when they get this race back going, it may be a 1-lap, 2-lap shootout to see who can win this stage.
We should get going right around, I'd say like 43-ish. But yeah, our first caution of the evening brought to you by Elite Entertainment. Link is in the description. As Miller, Thwaites, Senzak, Irvin, Wells, Torres all stay out. Zimmer and Tuttle, your top 8 have stayed out. Fox, Caps, Gillen, Vidal, Krim, Ansman, Cat, all come down pit road for fresh tires. I'm really excited to see what Kyle Miller on 15-lap old tires is going to have for the drivers behind him.
Yeah, he'll be competitive with the top 9 that did stay out there, or the top 8 that stayed out with him for this caution, but 9th on back is going to be coming up front in a hurry. So it's just a matter on whether they can hang on for 4 laps to try and stay up front and get good stage points.
Yeah, along with that, you also have to not drive over your head. You're going to have to pick and choose your moments. You're definitely going to be faster, but you don't want to put other drivers in danger, which in turn puts yourself in danger.
Right, and you can't go win in stage one and also lose your car in the process. You've got to have your car all together to get to the end of this race.
Exactly.
So it'll depend on how risky they want to get racing for the stage points. I think some of it they may not have a chance. Those guys on fresh tires are gonna have no choice but to be moving rapidly faster than the top 8.
Well, for the first time this evening, we are under caution, that Elite Entertainment caution. We will be right back. You're watching the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series Throwback Week. We'll be right back.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit XTREMESCORING.info today.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
We're back, everybody, under the Elite Entertainment caution. Kyle Miller taking the outside, Michael Thwaites to his inside, and row 2 you have the 09 of Bryce Senzak and the 48 of Paul Irvin. Then the 27 of Gary Wells and the 29 of Joe Torres. Just about ready to lose the pace car and get back to racing. We are only going to have a couple laps, Kenan, and we're going to throw this yellow out again. But for the stage, there goes the 6, and away
you saw he got
we
loose.
go.
That 6 car got a great restart. I don't know if he started in first gear or not, but he got a little squiggly, but managed to take away from the field there. That's a great restart for him.
Your first car on fresh tires is going to be the 47 of Daniel Krim. He's the orange and black Chevy Camaro with BMS Street on the car. Oh, the 73 is loose.
Yeah, 73 of Alan Fox. He had a moment there. I think he's probably used to sticking to that outside line a little too much. He's on the bottom there that lap.
Probably not used to being in traffic.
That too. That dirty air really plays an effect on these cars. It really does. You don't always see it on the TV, but they're constantly fighting to get more air on the front of those hoods.
As we have a battle for the lead, Paul Irvin trying to get the stage win away from Kyle Miller. Not for nothing, those new tires aren't doing as much as I was expecting them to do.
Oh, the 6 is in the wall. Looks like Kyle got in the wall just there for a moment, but he's carrying on as well. He's going to throw the block on the 12 of Michael Thwaites. It's a good recovery to not lose 2 spots there.
Yeah, well, he might lose one to the outside. Joe Torres up to second now.
Yeah, you can see you just got to be smart here, though. Finishing 4th and getting stage points for 4th is better than totally ending your race right now. Pushing a little too hard when you got one lap.
About to throw the caution, Kenan. This is it. Paul Irvin, more than a half a second lead over Joe Torres. Michael Thwaites and Kyle Miller battling for that third spot. Coming across the line, Paul Irvin is going to win stage number 1. Followed by Joe Torres, Kyle Miller, Michael Thwaites, Bryce Senzak, Gary Wells in 6th, 7th, Kyle Zimmer, 8th, Daniel Krim, and in 10th, or in 9th, Alan Fox, and in 10th, Adam Capps.
What do you think we learned here, AJ? Maybe the tires aren't as important as we've been talking about all race. I think Paul did a great job of proving us wrong there, and honestly, so did the top 7. We only had one of the 8 cars fall back. Which looks like Douglas
honestly,
Carlson fell back, but nobody made it up past there.
I'm very shocked. Could it be the cool temperatures on the racetrack that are making older tires versus newer tires a little bit inert?
I think it's a two-sided sword. If there was a 9-lap difference in those tires and we were doing a 30-lap run, we'd certainly see the difference come to fruition quicker. But I think the kind of speed you've got on a fresh tire compared to a 9-lap old tire for a sprint, there's not too much fall-off quite hit those tires yet. So if we get a late race caution and all, I think we just learned what the strategy is. Don't worry about the tires. Make sure you have the track position.
Alan Fox is staying out, taking the race lead, and if it's anything like we just saw, he's going to be able to hold on to that top spot as long as he can get a good restart and not spin those tires. Oh, the 48 is through his box and having to back up multiple times.
Wow, that's going to hurt him majorly. All that track position he works so hard to keep, you just lose it right there on pit road. That's a bad mistake.
Adam Capps is first, Josh Vidal, then Joshua Gillen, Joe Torres, Kyle Miller, Michael Thwaites, Bryce Senzak, Kyle Zimmer in 10th, Gary Wells, and Paul Irvin comes in first and is leaving 11th. But we are going to talk to our stage winner, the driver of the number 48, Paul Irvin. Hey, Paul Irvin, congratulations on the win of the stage. How you feeling? How's the car feel? And what happened on pit road?
Yeah, the strategy kind of just worked out there. The caution came out at just the right time. Cars loose early, tight late. That's all I can say about it. It's plowing tight late. You know, I've been in the wall a couple times off of 2. But you know, staying out a little bit late there on the green flag stop, have a couple laps pressure tires, then the 6 and the 29 really helped to get that stage win. And as far as pit road, chalk it up to lack of talent or lack of focus, whatever you want to call it. But yeah,
I'll say lack of focus because you have a crud ton of talent.
All right, we'll say lack of focus then. Yeah, paying attention to points and where Allen finished, as we're always chasing points for the whole season. So I think we'll be all right. Just gotta save the tires, and we'll get back up there in the middle at the end of the thing.
Oh, I can't wait for it, pal.
Hey, Paul, it's Kenan up in the booth here with AJ. I just wanted to ask you one quick question. How do you feel the air plays a difference on your car? You were up front there for the short sprint. Now you're going to be back in the middle of the field. Do you think it's going to be tougher working through the traffic? Car handle different?
Definitely. It's a high-line dominant track as far as passing is concerned. So if you get to somebody and they're running that high line, it's almost impossible to pass them. So it's going to be all about tire preservation and trying to pick them off one at a time here towards the end of the run.
My best wishes all the way through.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that was Paul Irvin, driving the number 48, winning this stage this evening. Kenan, talk about what he was saying about the high line, tire wear, and all that stuff. It's kind of what we've been talking about all race, huh?
Yeah, so that high line, it is a longer way around the corner, but what you're doing is you're using less wheel input, you're putting a little less stress on those tires. You are going to work those right rears a little more on exit because you're carrying so much more speed off the corner. But that's your best way to carry your momentum all the way down the straightaway. It's going to make it hard for somebody to get underneath you, be able to set you up, and be able to carry run out of the bottom of a corner, stay alongside you by the time you get to the next. I think Paul's got it in him to get back up front, but you just hate to see that. He put himself in a perfect position, and it kind of gets tossed away there for a moment, but there's still plenty of racing to be had here at Atlanta.
Yeah, we still got 90 laps to go. Overall, we're doing 140, 210 miles. The stage is over and done with. What's going to happen? I wish I could tell you, because then I'd put money on it. It'd be like the sports almanac from Back to the Future. But here goes the iRacing pace car, and we are in control of the lead. There's Alan Fox with a great launch.
Yeah, that's a really good restart. He's going to be able to get a little bit of a lead, get those cars behind him off of his rear bumper coming out of 2. I'd expect him to start getting to that high line, though, immediately the next lap.
Oh, yeah, especially with him and how he ran that first stage before our first caution of the evening. And I think it was, what, lap 39? 38?
Yes.
And he's got the same difference in tire wear that everybody else had with our first caution. Let's see if he's going to be able to hold off these cars behind him with 9-lap fresher tires. And he's right back down towards the bottom, giving the top to Adam Capps, and makes the pass.
Yeah, you can see Adam, he went right to the top, stayed on the top, and you can see that's where all the speed is. I'm surprised to see the 73 is still sticking to the bottom here.
I think he knows he's going to overall be slower, so could it possibly be, I'm just going to stay down here. If you could pass me, you're going to have to go to the high side?
Yeah, possibly. I do think you're going to see some cars try and make the move on the high side, and like Paul was just telling us, that if you're on the high side, it's going to be hard to pass you. So I would think the high side's the way to defend getting past, but I just don't know what the tire wear is doing to the bottom. It seemed like a lot of the guys that stuck to the bottom all that opening run were the ones who were getting into the wall into turn 2 and were definitely plowing tight.
Yep. And looking for our Heart Charger Award. It's the 26 of Josh Vidal. He's up 11 spots, and if he can hold onto that, he'll get an extra bonus point after tonight's over and done with.
Yeah, he's definitely made a good move. He was even up at the lead at one point of this race during the pit cycles. So I think for where he qualified and the kind of dismal start that they had as a team, they're putting themselves in a good points finishing position.
Remember, everybody, vote for your favorite throwback. Links are in the description and also in the chats. Joe Torres in the 09 of Senzak. Senzak with a really good last couple laps to get right back to the bumper of Torres. Let's see if he can capitalize. Hey, there
he looks to the outside. I think there's probably two extremes to how you're going to want to tackle this. You can't take the middle. You're either up high or you're going to stick to your guns down low. And you're probably sacrificing a little bit more tire wear to stay low, but I think to take the middle line is just a negative all the way around. That's kind of what you saw the 09 do, trying to set up a pass. If he wants to try and get by, he's either got to go all the way up or all the way down. He can't set a lane off the white line.
Yeah, and I think he learned it through 1 and 2 last time by, where he tucked in right behind the 29.
Yes, he did, and he got a great run out of 2 there. He's going to be able to look on the 29 going into 3, and he does. We've got about a 3-car race for the lead as they're coming across the stripe. My goodness.
I thought they were about to be 3 wide.
I think the 5 and the 29 had a little contact there. If not, the 29 did an excellent job of getting himself low and out of the way there. That could have been really bad with the leaders.
And that's going to allow Adam Capps to regroup and hold on to the lead for the time being. As here comes the 29 once again, cutting to the inside of the 2. To the line. I think Caps got that by .0001.
And I think Michael Thwaites is the one who's grinning ear to ear right now watching them race for the lead, because he was about a second back, and with all of that, he's now underneath looking to take 4th position from Alan Fox.
And we know Thwaites is fast everywhere we go. By the end of the race, he makes it up towards the front. But right now, like you said, he's just telling them, yeah, battle, burn up those tires.
Yeah, it looks like it's paying off for him. Maybe he was sitting back a little bit, saving some tires. He saw the top 4 wanted to race hard earlier into a run, and he's definitely making the most of it now. Now he's going for 3rd place, and he's got it over Adam Capps. Wow.
Great move.
Now that 12 car is moving fast right now. You can see him going right below us, and he is just carrying a lot of speed off of the corner.
Yeah, last time by, Adam Capps with a 32.23 to Michael Thwaites 31.83, and I'm really curious to see Thwaites' lap time compared to Senzak and Torres now that he is not side by side with anybody.
Yeah, it looks like he's holding steady. He's not gaining on him now. They are still racing up front there, though. It looks like Joe looked underneath them. Yeah, Joe Torres is making a move for the lead right now.
Oh, wow. Oh, and the 12's in the wall out of 2.
Wow. That's a pretty good lick, too. We've seen a lot of drivers take good looks like that. We'll see if it affects his car, whether it tightens him up. I have a feeling that 12 car is digging as hard as he can right now, keeping up there.
You got to be careful with that. I get pushing it to try to get to the lead, but you can't put yourself out of the race. We saw Mike Robinson do that. Taylor Bertram also. Gotta make it to the finish.
Gotta make it to the finish, and we're also about halfway through the run, making some green flag pit stops.
Yeah, we're also just shy of halfway through the race as well, as 1, 2, 3 right there on your screen, and everybody else behind them. Kyle Miller is a 2.5 back. Alan Fox in 5th. Kyle Zimmer in 6th. 7th is Gary Wells. 8th, Paul Irvin. 9th, Adam Capps. And Dennis Ansman rounding out that top 10. Only 2 retirees so far. That's the number 5 of Taylor Bertram and the 22 of Mike Robinson.
I think after talking to our stage winner, Paul, we see where he fell off to 11th. He has worked himself up to 8th place, but I do think we are starting to see that he's not running lap times too far off the leader right now, but when you're back in traffic, you have to lift a little for traffic and so forth. You create some distance, and you're kind of out of the race for the lead at the moment.
Yeah, aero tight is a big thing. Not as big as the trucks, but you still feel it going into these turns where you're going to have to lift a little sooner and adjust your line accordingly. Oh, I think he scraped the wall.
That was close. I think he might have touched the wall, but I wouldn't call that a slap to the wall. He managed to really get lucky there. That's close, though. It's only going to get harder and harder to drive the car the rest of the way.
Yeah, it was mentioned to us that it's just going to get tighter and tighter as the run goes on. And everybody, for the most part, outside of Alan Fox, Alan Fox is going to have to come down pit road relatively soon with his last pit stop on 39. And then after Alan, you're looking at everybody else about 10 or so laps later. But we're getting close to having pit stops again, and green flag pit stops to boot. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen, as we're going to have the whole field completely get separated because of it. But Senzak takes the lead once again. Joe Torres, Michael Thwaites, second and third respectively. And
yeah, I think the pathway to victory for Alan Fox, while he has been back there in 8th, he didn't pit during the stage caution, but I do think the strategy may align well, and I'll be interested to see if when he does decide to pit, if it doesn't start to force even the leaders to have to start getting fresh tires as well. We were figuring they were going back green about lap 50, so with 90 laps to go, you're probably not making it to the end on just one stop. So if you do make a short pit 10, 11 laps earlier than what everyone else has in a full fuel tank, you may be able to flip the script if this race does stay green, just off of tires and track position alone.
Yeah, at best, you're going to get 41-42. At best. So with that, yeah, you're looking at another 2 stops.
And that's where the tire strategy plays out. On the long run, I do think it's a benefit having the fresher tires. Do you try and break up your 2 and take tires both times? Or do you do one full run, take your tires, and then your second stop, you just take fuel only, about 11 laps worth of fuel, and run it to the end? That's a tough call. I'm partway in thinking that those who take tires twice may actually see themselves with the advantage at the end of the race.
You know, as we've gotten to lap 72 where we're on, I'm coming to think around to where you're thinking that it's tires. If you're going to come down pit road, just take the tires. You're going to appreciate them later.
Absolutely. And I think we did learn that a 4 or 5 lap shootout, the old tires, 10 lap difference may not make a big deal, but when we've got cars on track with 30 lap old tires compared to fresh tires, it's going to be a huge difference over those last 10 laps those guys try and run their fuel out. So I'd imagine we're going to start seeing a lot of people dictated on Alan Fox. And actually, Adam Capps is in pit road now.
Yeah, he could also be running it to where all he needs is the 2 stops. You know, once that window opens, come down pit road.
Yeah, I think he is right. He's right on the money of what we were just talking about. Comes on in, he'll be right there.
As your top 3 have been unchanged. Your 4th, Kyle Zimmer. Kyle Miller. He's pulling away from Kyle Zimmer. And Gary Wells in 6th. Paul Irvin back up 1 position to 7th. That's where he started today's race. So already, after that miscue on pit road, back up to where he started, and from here he's just going to keep going forward.
Yeah, it's a good recovery. There's still plenty of time left in the race. He won the stage already, so he knows he's got as much speed as these guys. And he did it on old tires. It's just a matter of how can his crew chief on top of that box mastermind a plan that they can find a little extra track position without truly having to pass anybody. Gain it all through pit road.
Jesus, the top 3, they've been running like this for 20 plus laps now. I can't tell if that's fun or nerve-wracking. Could be both.
I think it's got to be reassuring. That's the word I'll use for it. Those top 3, it's reassuring that they're all right together. They're all able to race. They've switched places back and forth. They've all run the different lines, and those 3 have clearly set themselves apart separate from the field. So if I were any 3 of them, I'd feel reassured that we have a chance to win this race today.
Doug Tuttle hitting pit road. Michael Thwaites is looking for anywhere to run.
Yes, he is. He gave that 09 a little rub down the back stretch. He wants to go, and he's letting them know it.
Yeah, it's funny. On one side of the track, he's right behind the 29. On the other side of the track, he's behind the 09. I wouldn't be surprised if he attempts to put it 3 wide at one point. Because right now, Kyle Miller is slowly wheeling them in as Dennis Ansman hits pit road.
Yeah, you can see it's hard to think that, we were talking about how drafting shouldn't really be the name of the game here at Atlanta, being the old version from 2008, a lot of extra bumps and so forth, but I do think the 12 of Michael Thwaites and the 09 of Bryce Sinesak, they just put the draft to work there to make sure they worked that outside by Joe Torres there. And now you see Michael Thwaites, he did exactly what he wanted to do, get the 09 by. Now it's his opportunity to take control of this race.
Yeah, Sinesak to the inside. Thwaites with the power out of 2. New race leader, Michael Thwaites. As it looked like Alan Fox? Yes, it was. All the way down to the apron, coming out of 2, almost losing the car. Cold tires, a little sketchy as Paul Irvin's not hitting pit road.
He hit it pretty fast too. We'll have to see how race control views that, whether he was too fast or not getting in. But
oh man, that could make your already upsetting race even worse. Even though he's fought back to 7th before coming to pit road, but you don't want to have to hit the reset button and have to do it all over again.
No, you have to come back down right away. That'll be the end of your night. And here we see the 09, Bryce Sinesak. He's going to go ahead and take pit road too. I do think, while they did hold off a little bit, wow, the 27 comes in there hot, Gary Wells, but I do think looked like he got it slowed down enough. But you can kind of see Alan Fox, he had to pit early with the not pitting during the stage break, and it did kind of force the hand. Some drivers stayed out a few extra laps, but they're all knowing fresh tires, they need it, and you can see the 12 cars finding it out firsthand as Alan Fox gets his lap back.
And here comes the 12 on lap 81 to pit road.
I think that's the right call. You just watched a car that pitted 10 laps before you all the way chase you up, run by you, and start to leave you all.
23 rode the wall all the way out of 4.
Make a good lick.
Yeah, Connor Coleman.
Yeah, he did. That right side, it doesn't look too scraped up, though. I think he'll be all right. As you see, the 5 car gets real loose on the outside, and that's... These cars have a lot of power in them, so when they're using that high line, they're using a lot of that car's engine to keep that power up, be able to drive off the corner with the speed they've got. The one adverse effect with that is going to burn up the rear tires. It's going to make them hotter. It's only going to make the car looser and slicker every more lap they do it.
Connor Coleman hitting pit road. But Alan Fox, when this cycles all the way out, Alan Fox should have about a 9-ish plus second lead to Michael Thwaites, Sinesak, and Kyle Miller.
Yeah, I think the story just reversed back to where we were saying tires maybe didn't make a big deal at the end of the stage, to where tires are very clearly what every driver is begging for right now. And you will see it come back, as the 73 did pit a little bit earlier than the other ones, about
10 laps.
8-9 laps, yeah, 10 laps. So you'll see it by the end of the stage. He'll start falling back to those leaders a little bit, but he's now put himself in great track position. He can make that final stop, get himself 4 fresh ones. He's in a great position to be up front racing for the win. 26 cars using that wall quite a bit too, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He smacked it a couple times entering and through turn 3, but he's going to take over the race lead with Daniel Krim right behind him. That's second place. And then Derek Catt plus 15 before pit stops is 6.5 back.
And then you see the 5 car though, he's about to go right on by him too. They're caps, Adam.
2 car.
2 car, excuse me.
I was like 5. There's multiple 5s?
Looking at the wrong part of the stat sheet. My apologies there, fans.
You good. As I clicked the wrong guy. Kyle Zimmer, fresh tires, getting by Adam Capps now as well. Like the 2 is stopped, everybody's going by him. Adam Capps pit on lap 72, Zimmer 81, Wells 80. So he's kind of in the same boat Alan Fox is, where the drivers that just pit are going to really start ripping time off of the lead.
Yeah, it's they're really setting themselves up. I'm very interested to see how it plays out. That you had some drivers wait long enough that I don't know if they're thinking tires is the plan on their next pit stop to get to the end. I think they're hoping they can just get some fuel and they'll be far enough ahead, which I don't think it's going to work out for them in a positive way, but I think that's what they're thinking on top of the box right now. Just a little bit of fuel, less time on pit road than changing the tires. It'll gain you more than they lose by the time you get to the finish line.
Yeah, and just a couple lap difference. The Joe Torres in the 29 who pit on 84 compared to Senezek on 80 and Thwaites on 81. He's 5 seconds back from the people he was just running around.
Yeah, he's gone with the fresh tires. The fresh tires and the speeds they're doing now, it's just so drastic.
Yeah, and you got to be careful you don't stay out too late, and I think that's what the 29 did.
Yeah, I think you stay out too long, you just only are hurting yourself. Everybody else is just, every lap that goes by, you want to stay out that extra lap. You're only giving up seconds and seconds of time on the track by the time it comes to pit.
We're looking at the 40 lap mark for Josh Vidal as he hit in pit road. Daniel Krim going another lap. He's right at the edge of the fuel window. Should be coming in either this time by or the next time by. But this is one of the racetracks where you don't want to run out of fuel.
No, you don't.
You don't want to do that anywhere, but here I feel like it's more of a pain in the butt with how difficult pit road is to get on. So if you miss it, you're in trouble.
Yeah, when you miss pit road, it's
oh, he's staying out too.
It's
wow.
gonna end your race. And we did end up seeing a caution by the end of the first stage. Nothing says a caution won't happen in the next 50 laps, 49 laps we're working here, but there's no guarantees, and the guys have been taking care of the car. Everybody's settled up in their strategy. It'd be very shocking to see a caution come out right now.
As Derek Katz hitting pit road.
Yeah, you can see he's getting tires.
And here comes the 47. Able to make it 42 laps.
That's interesting because that would mean we're looking at about 9 laps away from cars being able to take their final pit stop, get tires, and go. I would imagine you'll probably see drivers coming in the next lap 105, lap 110. That's what I'd call the pit window. So that way you got good 30 laps, you can maximize fresh tires, you get all you can get out of this. Now you're just going to kind of have to see where your cars land. Yeah, Alan Fox, I think he it worked out just like I called it in a way, that he set himself up to be right in the lead. He's got a great spot staying out during that stage break, got him the track position he needed. He managed to work with it, and you see the rewards are really paying off for him right now.
The cavalry is here. Just right behind him, you have Thwaites and Senzek as they are closing in rather fast.
It is closing in fast, but you've got to think if Allen can hold them off until the 1-2 and the 0-9, they'll get by. But if he can hold them off until they get by for another 10 laps, he can bring it right on the pit road, put 4 fresh tires, and he'll almost be forcing the 12 and the 9's hand. They'll almost be needing it right away. Wow, and the 12 car gets into the wall there.
Yeah, he's going to stay in it and try to hold on to that P2, but the 09 of Senezek very strong on the outside. Let's see if he's going to be able to get there. Nope.
No, not yet. They'll be to the 73 in a couple of laps, but Allen, he's putting himself in the spot where he can still somewhat dictate this race and how the rest goes. The 12 and the 9, once the 73 puts fresh tires on, now the 12 and the 9 are losing time to the 73 again, and depending on how late they wait to go and make their stop and whether they take tires or not, will ultimately determine how this race outcomes.
That's a really good viewpoint. But yeah, he's gonna take the L in this run. But look how long he was up front for. A good 15-ish laps. He was leading that group once everybody cycled through. So it could be a race-winning strategy, Kenan.
It very much could be, and if it doesn't turn out to be a race-winning strategy, it's a great for the situation he played himself in, a great way to get a good points finishing position. I don't see how, even if his strategy doesn't work, he'll fall outside of 3rd or 4th. I still think, though, that the equalizer will be when the 73 decides to pit. How long do the 12 and the 9 want to stay out? We've seen where Allen can hold on for his own for 10, 15 laps, and if they wait long enough, they may not get 15 laps to run him down a second time, and the second time, he'll be a little more equal than he was the time before.
Dude, and Thwaites takes the lead, and he's putting out some really good laps.
Yeah, he ran almost 2/10 quicker than Bryce there the last lap. That's putting down good numbers this late into a run. I mean, pit window is about to open back up again, and he's finally settled in, got the lead, and he's just running away. So he's going to be tough to beat tonight. It's going to be very tough to beat if it all works out and stays green.
Well, we're hitting lap 100 next time by. You're watching All-Star 15 TV's broadcast of the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series, race number 5, Throwback from 2008 Atlanta. We will be right back, but you're not going to miss a thing because we're going side by side.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
RICMOTECH high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
Alright, we are back. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow, hit the bell so you don't miss another broadcast. But holy cow, where has Joe Torres getting all this speed? He did pit 3 laps later. We mentioned it before where I thought it wasn't going to work. But he's driven all the way up to second place, and he's closing in on race leader Michael Thwaites as Adam Capps is the first car on pit road this time by.
Yeah, it was almost 3/10 quicker the lap before. Let's see what the time chart showed now. Wow, still almost 2/10 quicker that lap. Joe Torres is coming right now. I think Michael Thwaites got a lead, tried to build a lead. Tires are starting to fall back off on him, and Joe Torres, he's just sticking to the grind, just turning off laps, and the overall time is starting to come back for him. But we know pit stops have to be happening soon.
You know what it very much could be, Kenan? The 12 battled for these positions. The 29 of Torres just got by. No problem.
Yeah, you're certainly right. You're certainly right. The start of the run, and then obviously the second or the first pit stop in this stage, they were battling hard there, back and forth between Alan Fox and going high, low, and that's definitely starting to show. The 29 was definitely minding his pace, and the 12 was probably having to work a little harder to keep up there up front, and it's definitely got him in a good position to still be there for a chance to win this race, but he is falling back now. You've got to think he's begging for tires. He'll be in soon.
Yeah, we are officially in the window to make it to the end. You will probably get the 2 green-white checkers as well if you come down pit road now, but do you want the fresher tires now, or do you want them later as you see the 27 at Gary Wells trying to work over the 48? Oh, big block on the 73.
Yeah, 73 wasn't putting up with that. 73 decided to go right through the middle, and he is well on his way. So
yeah,
he's already made his pit stop. He knows his goal is he's got to get to the front and in a hurry.
As there goes the 27 again of Gary Wells getting by the 48 of Paul Irvin. Move the 27 back up to 5th. But
I think similar to the 12 and 29, that 73, you see how he's having to make a pass on the low side in 3 and 4, and then he's having to get up to the high side to get through traffic in 1 and 2.
Yep.
That's going to hurt when he does get up front. He's just wearing those tires out a ton to get through the traffic. Does have a lot of open space ahead of him, though, for the moment, so we'll see if he can settle in, keep those tires calm, and have something at the end.
Watching this battle here, the 27 and the 48 from before, it's still going on. But your biggest mover of the race is Joe Torres, as it looks like Gary kind of backed out of it and probably trying to regroup and pick a different lane and get by the 48.
Yeah, I think Gary, the way he's been running, I feel like his team's probably pretty happy. He's running 6. Obviously, you want to see how this final pit stop goes and hope that you can maybe work something into the top 5. But that's a good run for them today, and you don't want to see him risk it or do anything. So I think he played the right call there. Don't get too over aggressive. Do something where you make a mistake with the car, you lose the handle, and you wear something out too soon and lose even more positions.
Kyle Zimmer on pit road. Doug Tuttle on pit road. Like we said, they can make it now to the finish.
Yeah, they can. Everybody will make it to the finish. I do think we're getting closer and closer. 27 laps left. Everybody pitting, you assume, has to come take 4 tires. There's no way you're winning the race without it. But we have been fortunate today. We've only had 2 cautions. We had the one in stage 1, and we've had our stage caution. But I'm calculating that at most teams have used 3 sets of tires so far. So You can come take that for say. You know you've still got one sitting there for you. If you get a late race caution, you get a green white checkered. We know these older tires, 10 laps, they can last 4 more laps and be competitive. So everybody's sitting comfortable to know they've got the rubber they need to make the end of the race.
As we're looking at race leader Joe Torres, as Thwaites has hit pit road.
I think Thwaites, you see Thwaites hit pit road, everybody else has got to come this lap. If they stay out another 2-3 laps, they're only going to give up more and more time.
Kyle Miller.
You see the 6 is very hot. And the 27 missed pit road as well. Oh, you hate to see that for Gary. I think both of those cars, I'd certainly expect race control to be handing out a penalty for that. I can't imagine they were slowed down. Yeah, 27 Gary just gets off onto the apron just a little too late. The car's got a little too much speed. Not a whole lot you can do, but I hope you don't crash it. And he didn't do that, but you know he's going to be right back down on pit road serving the penalty.
Paul Irvin jumping on pit road. Now, what that 27 did was drive all the way through, didn't stop. So I wonder if they're going to count that as his penalty.
We'll have to see how race control views it, but I would imagine you can't serve the penalty on the pit stop that you enacted the penalty of. So it'll be interesting. We'll just have to hear what race control ends up ultimately calling on that as you see the 27s now back down pit road to make their pit stop.
Yep, and there's the 09 of Sinizek.
Yeah, Bryce didn't wait too long, but those extra couple of laps, same with Joe. I know he's going to have the fresh rubber come to the end, but time's running down. There's 24 laps to go. Every lap he stays out there, everyone behind him's catching him, and he's losing a lap to catch them. So here you see he's coming now, so that's a smart move. He's got to get in there and get some tires.
Now, when the 09 hit pit road, Joe Torres had about a second on him. Let's see how that's going to change when they both hit back on the racetrack. But I think that 73 right now is going to be your race leader, and by a good margin.
Yes, absolutely. 73 will certainly have a nice hefty lead for the moment. Now it becomes a race of the tortoise versus the hare.
Issue with it all.
There's a car spin up.
Yeah, that's the 26. Oh, he's not going to hit anything, is he?
I don't think he did. And whoa, he did spin it out, and looks like race control decided everything was clean, all good. I don't see where the yellow flags are being displayed.
Yeah, you could hear him out of the gas and everything, and there's no throttle going whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, you've got these 3,000 plus vehicles. Once they start to lose it and they're at the point of no return, that's an incredible job to keep it off the wall. He did everything he could there.
That was by
73
far
touched the wall.
slide
Wow.
I think we've seen on the channel is he's gonna pass Daniel Krim outright for the lead. Krim should be coming down pit road any second now.
Yeah, and you can see we're getting to the line, so we'll keep an eye on it over the next lap. You've got Michael Thwaites, 7.15 behind the 73. See where it's at come the next lap by. You see Alan Fox trying to use that high line, keep the momentum up. You can also kind of see where he's getting a little loose on the exits of some of these corners where his tires are already starting to mishandle, but he's got essentially a 20-lap dogfight to just stay as far ahead as he can.
Absolutely, and right now I can tell you that 12 is a rocket ship right now. Crossing the finish line down to 6.6. A 32.27 to a 31.78, sorry.
Yeah, he's gaining 0.6 a lap right now. He had a really good turn 1 and 2, Michael Thwaites there, so he's definitely coming. It's just a matter of, I'm figuring we've got about 20 laps to go, and he's aiming right now to be there in about 15 laps, although that last lap, it does look like he gained almost a full second on Alan Fox. I think Alan by himself on these fresh tires, that high line is actually not benefiting him, but we will have to see what happens with Michael Thwaites on his tire wear as well. He may be pushing it hard, running the bottom. By the time he gets to the leader, he may not have what he thinks he has either.
Big cluster for third place. You see the 6 of Kyle Miller, the 09 of Senezak, and the 25 of Kyle Zimmer. All under a blanket.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good race to see. This is all really shaping up to be a great finish. 18 laps to go. You've got a handful of guys who are doing nothing but driving everything they can out of these machines to get to the front. And it's just a matter of time now. Their biggest factor is time. They've got the speed. They're faster than what the leader is. Do they have the time to get there? Did they allow them enough time to get there?
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a great battle for that third position, or even, yeah, for that third position, because Daniel Krim is going to have to hit pit road. I still can't believe he's out there while everybody else pit. I think right now he's just hoping for a caution. If he doesn't get one, he's going to go a lap and a half down, and you can go from being third all the way back to about 15th or 16th out of 18 drivers.
It very much could. It's a big gamble to make that move. It can certainly pay off. We did see a caution come out near the end. We almost had a caution with the car spinning out on the front stretch here earlier. Thankfully, we didn't need to slow down everybody for that. But that's the strategy. You risk, you hope you get the caution. That'll reset everything. I'm sure even Alan Fox, if we got a caution right now, everybody'd come down, take 4 tires, and see how they ran to the finish. So that's probably one of the biggest things he's hoping for, even our leader.
Fastest car on the racetrack last time by was the driver of the 09, Bryce Senezak, as he's to the inside of the 86 of Doug Tuttle. Getting that pass done, as you see Gary Wells right behind him, and company just a little bit further back, Joe Torres, Kyle Miller, and the 26 of Joshua Vidal.
Yeah, that was a good pass. He didn't cost himself too much time getting through there, but I think the 09 Bryce, he's just waited a little too late to make his pit stop. I don't know if he's going to be able to recoup the time to get back up front.
Yeah, he's still very fast, but you're 100% right, Kenan. He waited too long. Unless something happens, where we've seen crazier things on the channel before, where drivers just fall off a cliff basically, and somebody you don't expect drives through the field and podiums.
It's certainly possible, and we've got Joe Torres. I mean, he's the one I'd be looking for to come, but I think he may have waited a little bit too late himself. Like I said, that when Thwaites pitted at 113, everybody else needed to be pitting on 114. Any lap later than that is probably 1, 2, 3 seconds you're losing that you now have to try and recoup on only less laps to finish the race.
Yeah, Joe Torres is only about 2/10 faster than Michael Thwaites a lap, and we're just on the other side of 10 laps to go with 12.
But if we look at it, I think Thwaites, he may be taking Allen here for the lead in the next lap.
What was that? What was that? A Tony Stewart thing saying "kitty, kitty, kitty"? You could just see how nice the 12 gets through these turns, while the 73 has to basically catch it up the racetrack. There it is, pass for the lead.
Yep, he goes right underneath him there. Allen will get a run out the backstretch. Oh,
73's in the wall, and in the wall for a while.
Yes, he was. Fortunately, he was already up high, so I don't think he impacted the wall too difficult, but that rub obviously slowed him down, gave Michael Thwaites the lead, and it's his race to lose at this point. Unless we have a caution that restacks everybody, Michael Thwaites is gone. He's checked out. He's telling everybody, have a really nice afternoon. We're done here.
And already almost a second on Alan Fox.
It is, but Alan Fox still made a great move. He's recouped from where we were when we started the second stage, almost up from, what was he, ninth when he started the stage. He's still running second. Bryce is still 2.5 seconds behind, 10 laps to go. His tires are also wearing off when Bryce is. I could see Alan holding on for a second, and if he does, that's an absolutely fantastic drive by Alan Fox.
Oh yeah, he started second, could possibly finish in that second position. And we have less than 10 laps to go. 8 this time by.
Yeah, Thwaites is checked out. I know we watched Joe Torres catch back up to him in the last run, but it would be quite miraculous, per se, to think that Joe's going to catch up 3.8 seconds here in the final closing laps.
He might get to third.
Third place certainly is open for the taking, but there's nobody. Bryce pitted lap 116, Joe Torres pitted lap 117, Michael Thwaites pitted lap 113, and that 4-lap difference is the 4-second difference they've currently got. So that's really where that came from.
Joe Torres has been the fastest car on the racetrack, but it's not by a lot. It's by a very small margin. That's why I'm saying he could get to Senzak, but I don't think he'll get to Alan Fox's. Alan Fox with a really he's really trying his best to keep that car underneath him. He almost smacks the wall again out of 2.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of guys hitting that wall out of 2. Not so much out of 4 today, but a lot of drivers getting in touch with the wall out of 2, and it certainly affected a lot of race cars here. You can see Joe, he's looking behind him. He's got to get by the 27 of Gary first. Gary will probably help him get by knowing he's the lap traffic, but that's another car you got to get by, a little bit more time, another corner. You're spinning with another car except the one you need for position.
Yep. And you could see Joe is trying to use any sort of lane, any sort of run to try to make this pass. But Alan Fox, oh boy. Senzak is under 8/10. Could Alan Fox, is there a chance he might not finish in the top 3 for a podium interview?
Oh, it's certainly possible. You can see the 09's coming. 29 of Joe Torres. I'm very surprised he's not pushing the issue to get by Gary, so he's ready to go when the time to jump is ready. But they're sitting right there. You see the 73 is trying the high line again. You know he's getting everything he can out of it. It's going to be close. I think Alan's going to hold on to second the way I'm seeing it. Their cars back behind them, they're starting to wear down. You can see their times are getting slower on the board. They've been racing with that 27 and around each other too this last run. It's not going to be an easy task with just 3 laps to go.
3 to go. Michael Thwaites is your current leader. But Alan Fox sitting in that second position. Senzak closing in very much on Alan Fox. Looking about 3.5 tenths. Joe Torres is there. He's got by Gary Wells. This is really the battle for second place right now.
Yeah, that's really what it's all about, whether the 09 and the 29 can get there. And let's all hope that the 29 and the 09 don't get caught up in their own little fight, that they remember their second place right in front of them as well.
Dude, we've seen that a lot. Whether it's...
second time in a row. 73 is just not getting through 1 and 2 very good right now. He's going to have a tough last lap, but this is quite thrilling, actually. The 09's right there.
You know, Alan is doing everything to hold on to that second place. But out of 4 to the line, Michael Thwaites taking that Wrestling with Nerds white flag.
Yeah, Thwaites has got this in the bag. He's just got to hold on. You know, no more yellows are coming out. Everything's together.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Not going to get a chance to come up. Oh, the 73 touches the wall. The 09 barely clears him. That's close, and you were correct. 73. Joe Torres falls right in. It's going to take his third place.
And out of 4 for the final time, Michael Thwaites is going to win Week 5 Throwback for the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series. Bryce Senzak in second. Third, Joe Torres. Alan Fox in fourth. Fifth, Kyle Miller. Eighth, Paul Irvin. Or sixth, Paul Irvin. Wow. Seventh, Kyle Zimmer. And Dennis Ansman rounding out the lead lap drivers in eighth. Dude, what a great race, Kenan.
Yeah, that was really quite thrilling. There was certain times where it lulled in the side-by-side action, but the entire race was filled with the strategy of fast cars, slow cars, new tires, old tires. The strategy is what really made a difference, and Michael Thwaites, he made the race-winning move coming down 4 laps earlier than the other guys. I think the 09 and the 29, they'll be walking back to the hauler, putting the car away tonight, kicking themselves that they didn't come in just a few laps earlier. Just gave up a little bit too much time and not enough time for them to get there.
Wade's currently burning it down on the front stretch, but let's go through the results here this evening. Michael Thwaites, your winner. Bryce Senezak in second. Third goes to Joe Torres. Fourth, it's Alan Fox. Fifth, Kyle Miller. In sixth, you have Paul Irvin. Seventh, Kyle Zimmer. Finishing in eighth position, Dennis Ansman. In ninth, it's Adam Capps. Rounding out that top 10, Gary Wells. 11th, Connor Coleman. Joshua Vidal in 12th. 13th, Daniel Krim. 14th, Doug Tuttle. Derek Catt in 15th. 16th, it's Joshua Gillen. 17th is Taylor Bertram. And rounding out the field, it's Mike Robinson. Can't wait to talk to some of our drivers.
Yeah, and you can just tell, look at that 12 car. He is just burning the rubber off of that thing. All through 1 and 2, all for the fans on the front stretch. You can just see this man's excited he got a win in Atlanta.
Waiting for some of our...
I'm looking forward to talking to our top 3. I'm interested to see what they said. They're all going to probably offer us a little bit of a different perspective and opinion on how we all viewed and called it from the booth, but that'll be interesting to hear because there's certainly many different strategies and definitely a big push there at the end to at least get second and third.
Well, who would you like to interview?
Let's bring Joe on up here.
Well, hold on. Yeah, Joe, let's third place. Joe Torres, AJ, and Kenan in the booth. Congratulations on the third place finish. How does it feel to fight all the way back to a P3?
I won't lie. I was sweating bullets trying to drive through the field. It was the most intense most intense race I've ever been a part of here in Atlanta. I did mess up on the strategy part. I feel like I should have pitted earlier, but other than that, gotta thank everybody in this 29 GM Goodrich Chevrolet. It was fantastic. It was a dream to drive until the last stint of the race. The car got tight, and that was it. That was all she wrote.
Kenna?
Hey Joe, it's Kenan, man. Congratulations on the third place. That was a incredible drive, especially watching you work on that last run. You could see you were getting everything out of it on the hustle to get back to the front. And you answered my first question. I was going to ask if you felt the winner pitted on lap 113, you pitted on lap 116. I was going to ask you if you felt like that 4 laps made a difference. Up here in the booth, it seemed like that 4 laps was the 4-second difference you needed to maybe see yourself in victory lane. But with that, how do you feel it was pushing? Was there a fine line? We noticed getting by Gary Wells, the lap traffic there at the end, that you didn't necessarily go for it right away. You kind of had to work them a little bit. Was that sort of a play on the strategy of the tires? If you tried to push too hard with 10 to go to get by them, you weren't going to have anything to be able to maintain up at second and third?
That is correct. Actually, you hit it right. You hit the nail right on the head. Actually, I had to take my time to pass a couple of cars. So if you saw early in the race, I was running the bottom for a little bit, and then I ran in the middle at the end of the race, at the end of the run. But there was some extra grip I found in 3 and 4 that just made the car hook, and I was able to go from the middle to the bottom, and was able to try to get right under under those guys, and then in that last stint, I slid the tires coming off pit road. So going into 3, I was sliding. Turn 1, I was sliding, so I destroyed their tires. So it made a difference to have something for Bryce to pass him for second place. But other than that, it was a hell of a drive. I did all I could. I'm out of breath at the moment.
Oh, I don't blame you. That looked like that was a tough drive there. Every lap you did. But that's a great finish. A great way to get yourself back into third place.
Yeah, after a couple of weeks of having rough races here and there, it's good to be back in the podium and hopefully get some positive momentum going to the next few races, because those next few races, man, I feel really, really good about. We just have to execute.
Yeah, Joe, we go to Kansas next week. We go to another 1.5 miles. Honestly, Kansas is one of my favorite 1.5 miles on the sim. Anything you could take from a really old Atlanta and bring it to a Kansas Speedway?
Just discipline on the track, just saving your stuff as much as you can. I know that we all have to push to get positions, but as long as you start saving your stuff early on in the race and then be there at the end, that's what makes it worthwhile to be up there and try to battle with those guys. But congrats to the 12. Those guys played the strategy well of pitting 3 laps early, and that made the difference.
All right, Joe. Well, before we let you go and enjoy the podium finish, plug those beautiful sponsors you got.
Alrighty. GM Gritter Wrenches for one. JS Designs, that is going to be making a couple of schemes that I'll be running in the next few weeks. Also, everybody at Sparta, everyone at JTI, everyone at W Energy Drink, by the way. Plug that in there, and everyone at All Star 15 TV. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the show and all that good stuff, and Team Conti, of course.
Yeah, it was a great show up here, but thank you for coming and talking with us, and congratulations on the podium finish.
Hey, absolutely, thank you. Well done.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it.
All right, Kenan. Here is P2. Bryce Senzak, take it away, pal.
Hey, Bryce, how's it going? This is Kenan and AJ up in the booth. Absolutely fantastic drive you had there going into second place. Congratulations on the finish. I just want to start out. How do you feel your strategy played towards the race winner? Do you feel you missed the mark a little bit on how you could have gotten yourself into victory lane, and how you viewed the race overall? You had a really hooked up ride the whole day, it seemed.
I mean, second place is good. I wouldn't say strategy kept me out of victory lane. It was just the tire management. Michael and Joe were a lot better on tires than what I was. For some reason, like, I don't know if it was just the setup kind of like built more on the tight side. I don't know if it depended on how you drove it, if it was how the wind direction, what it was, but you're really wearing out the right side, but definitely the right front more than the right rear, and that's kind of always been a struggle for me. I not really sure how to drive off the right front, and then right rear though it's pretty easy for me, but they're just a lot better on tires than what I was.
Yeah, and we definitely saw from up here in the press box, there's a lot of different drivers using a lot of different lines, trying the high line, trying the low line, sticking to what they had. There was some certain racy parts. You were in quite a good race there for second and third, a good portion of that second stage. So I can see where keeping those tires under you and also holding the track position becomes quite the management game.
Yeah, it was, like I said, man, the high line really was the way to go. I felt like, I mean, cold tires were definitely like there, and it made the car drive kind of like sketchy on that loose side for like 2 or 3 laps, and it was kind of like getting the heat built back up into it. But I think again, like with the way the wind direction was, you couldn't really hook the bottom like I've been able to in the past. So it was kind of just run the bottom until you got temperature back into it, and then try and rip middle or top line, and that's kind of just how it was on my end.
Yeah, and we saw that. We saw you were one of the lucky ones, but we watched a lot of drivers. No big hits out of turn 2, but there was certainly a lot of drivers with a handful scrubbing that wall out of 2, and you could see it was nothing they could really do but hold on and fight the wheel the best they could. And I think you did a really good job of kind of accomplishing that. Even may not have done the best tire management to win the race, but you did do a fantastic job of doing it to get your second place, and that is certainly something to be proud of. Now, do you have any sponsors or anybody you'd like to thank? The guys back home at the shop, give you a moment to plug them.
Shout out to everyone at Steering on Racing. We got the Scott Pruitt throwback on from, I believe it was Sonoma 02 or 03, one of those years. Shout out to Spoiler Diecast and Celsius, and this one I keep forgetting, but shout out to Elwood Designs. You didn't paint this one, but this was a paint scheme I did, but my regular season scheme is one that I'm using, so shout out to Elwood Designs.
Yeah, it was a really nice paint scheme. We had several really nice throwback schemes throughout the field. Yours certainly shined, and obviously running it up front only makes it shine a little bit more. And I'd obviously be remiss. I do want to offer a moment, AJ, if he's got any questions for you as well, while we've got an opportunity with you up here.
Dude, what kind of fight was it to cut through the field for yourself? After that last pit stop, countless drivers in front of you. How did you keep your cool and just Tetris your way through the field?
It was kind of just the mindset of going, you got better tires than them, and get the clean run on exit, and then you're going to get them. And I think that was also another thing that kind of like hurt me there. I mean, 5 seconds was a whole lot to try and make up on the race, and what was it, 20, 25 laps, something like that. And so I mean, if I could at least get through there clean, I was going to set sail and at least solidify a podium spot there. And it did get close there between Joe, Alan, and I. I didn't know if I was going to get Alan, but I mean, I threw it in there on the white flag to clear him, and then Joe got by him, and that was that.
All right, Bryce, thank you for coming and talking with us. You enjoy the rest of your night, and congratulations once again on the P2 finish.
Yeah, congratulations. Great job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's time to talk to the man of the hour. It's Michael Thwaites, winner here tonight. Congratulations, dude. How does it feel to win Throwback Night here at the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series?
Pretty good. I wish I had a good throwback paint scheme. It would have felt better. But a win is a win, so.
Yeah, hey, they still count the same.
Yep.
But how was it out there tonight? How was the strategy? Was it I know what I'm going to do, or was it play it by ear? Because it looked like you had the speed all night long, but towards the end of that race, we were kind of wondering. It was like, does Alan Fox have it? Can he hold it off? And as we saw, his tires kind of gave a little way, and you just took it and ran. Ended up winning the race by 3 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, I want the last pit stop. I knew I was in my pit window, fuel window, I should say. So I wanted to pit a little early, to try to gain a little bit of time coming out, because I knew I was definitely like, I could tell that I was a little bit faster on the older tires. I was just always stuck behind somebody, and it's harder to pass on older tires unless they just give you the lane that's preferred. And when I came out, Alan, I think, was maybe 10 seconds ahead of me, and I wasn't pushing so hard because I also saw that I had like 5 seconds on Bryce. And I thought Alan had to pit again, but then when I realized he didn't, I started pushing it a little bit and was able to get by him. And yeah, I mean, car felt great. Yeah, no complaints.
Well, with tonight, you come out with the win at 1.5 miles, but we are well back in the past with this 2008 rendering. Next week we go to Kansas Speedway, though. What are we thinking? How are you going to take anything from tonight and possibly move it to next Wednesday night?
Oh, that's a good question. Not really sure. I mean, just try to be fast, just like tonight, you know. And I guess good strategy also. That's really, yeah. See how it goes.
Got anything for our race winner?
Yeah, I do. Michael, this is Kenny Miller up here in the booth with AJ. I just want to ask you. You covered how you were feeling after you made the pit stop, and I think your strategy was absolutely perfect. You pitted 4 laps before second and third place who you were competing with. I think it made all the world of the difference in getting that extra 3-4 second gap that you had when you crossed the finish line. But when we saw earlier in the race, you fought for the lead. You took the lead. I think you broke out to almost a 1.5 second gap over, I believe it was Bryce, the 09. And by the end of the fuel run, he was right there with you. Do you feel like you learned from that to go into that final stage? Did you overuse your tires in the middle run? Maybe learn something from it on how to get to the end in the last run?
Maybe a little bit, yeah. You know, I mean, I think that run I was kind of searching all over the track and running different lines each lap, basically. And I realized that I just ran my same consistent line that last run, and I think that really helped. And yeah, I mean, I don't know about the tire situation when he was able to run back down to me. I mean, I'm not sure, but yeah, I just tried to run a very consistent line that last run, and because I saw the win in my frame, so I was like, I got to go for this, and yeah, it worked out.
Oh, absolutely. It was a really nice run, and I do fully agree with you because we were watching it right here live from up in the top of the grandstand in the booth, and you could see that I think it played out that the way your pit strategy worked, you didn't have to deal with the traffic. You weren't too worried about getting by lap cars and having to over push the car. You were able to go out, run your final 39 laps, and call it a day.
Yep, and just had to pass one car.
Yes, exactly. It was a great run by you. We were really thrilled watching it up here in the booth. That was a great race by you.
Thank you.
All right, Michael. Well, before we let you go and enjoy the win and get ready for Kansas next week, any sponsors you want to plug?
Yeah, always, my teammates, Prime Time. I think now the 3 of us have one win each. So that's pretty cool. RICMOTECH, what Ed does for the league and everything. Got to thank him. And of course, what you guys do in the booth. Can't thank you enough.
All right, dude.
You guys call good races.
Well, thank you very much.
On such a good show to call.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. You guys make it so much easier when the racing is like what we got tonight. One caution for incident, and then the other caution is the stage. So kudos to you and all the other drivers for putting on a barn burner tonight.
Yes, of course. Everybody ran very well tonight, and just having some green flag runs is great.
Yeah, I like green flag pit stops because they really add in some chaos.
Yes, I agree. You gotta be basically perfect there. That's where you gotta be perfect, 100%, or it can screw you big time.
All right, dude. Well, once again, congratulations from myself and Kenan. You go enjoy the rest of the night with your team.
Yep, thank you guys. Maybe I'll be talking to you next week too.
Maybe the way it's looking.
Right. Yep. We'll see. Thank you guys.
See you later.
Thank you. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Kenan, what a great race tonight. Thank you for joining me up in the broadcast booth. I really do appreciate it. And once again, our thoughts and prayers are with the Campiggio family with the loss of Mike's grandfather. But thank you for stepping in, doing a fantastic job that you always do. But what a great race.
Oh, it was thrilling from start to finish. And yeah, condolences out to Mike's family. We're looking forward to having him back here in the booth next week. And I just feel blessed to be someone called upon that I was able to come out here and be there for Daytona. And I've been able to watch 2 just thrilling Extreme Motorsports Racing RICMOTECH Xfinity Series races. I mean, they're just nonstop start to finish. Today we saw a really good strategy race play out, and play out is certainly the best word for it because there was so many different ways it could have gone, and the only way we were going to find out is we had the best seat in the house to be able to watch it.
Yeah, brother. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Michael Thwaites, Bryce Senezak, and Joe Torres, your top 3 podium finishers. I'm AJ Capola. That's Kenan Miller. We'll catch you next week, and stay cool, stay safe, and Yeah, don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, y'all have a good night. Thanks for being here.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.